We're gonna call you Everett, man, and
So
Charles
like,
and Robert
yeah,
and Winston. We'll just call you whatever, man.
it's whatever comes to mouth, as long as it's not something derogatory. I don't care.
Well, you hadn't met Coach Brady. He'll say whatever comes to his mind. Man, Robert, you look fit. You look like the same when you left. You didn't get it. That was a good joke, I thought. Okay, anyway, so I see people coming in. I'm recording now. I got this new YouTube channel. I'm big time. So I'll put it on the YouTube channel for all my coaches, but I'm going to let people, if you missed it or that kind of thing, if you need to go back and answer some stuff. Boy, is Josh out there cooking? I see you. What you cooking, man? What, you got some eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. You gonna put some ham in it or something?
Sausage, onions. Yeah.
That sounds good. Good job. All right, well, I'm gonna let everyone get on. Okay, so what's that? That you can y'all let me how mute people. I should know how to do that now. Mute all. Look at that. That's how you do it. I know how to do it now. I'm a professional. Okay, so hello everybody. Y'all doing all right? Y'all can at least wave to me. I got you all on mute. Y'all okay? Y'all good? Quarantine and lockdown and coronavirus and all that mess. It sucks. It's not fun. I know. I've been in this house forever. I've canceled 3 vacations. I get it. I got one more vacation scheduled next week. I don't know if it's going to happen. So I get it, man. I am just stressed out. But I wanted to have this meeting with you. We wanted to have it last week. But we decided just to hold off on just having this meeting because I'm going to be honest with you. I do not have answers to probably every question that you have. And raise your hand if you got a question. Yes, we all have questions. I have questions. I'm blowing up Coach Godding every single day, 50 times a day. And if he doesn't respond to my email, I send it to him in text because I need to know, and his answer is just like my answer is, I can tell you what I know. I can tell you what we have planned currently. Will it change? Does everything change? Everything's been planned here, and the next day it changes, and the next day it changes. And so nothing is set in stone, but we are exactly 1 month away from report day. Exactly. Today is July 17th. I said I have to have this meeting today because August 17th is the day everybody reports. So you can write that down. August 17th is the day all athletes will report. And I'm saying all athletes because every athlete has to be here. So there is a lot of crucial points you have. See, I have a note sheet just to make sure I don't miss things. So I'm recording it so you can go back. I'll send you the YouTube link. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. But that's a free plug. But anyway, and I'm going to give you that so you can go back and watch it. And if you need to take some notes, I don't have it up on my computer so you can see it. But the paperwork is the most crucial thing, bottom line, right now. That is the most crucial thing you need to have completed is all paperwork. Okay, and so when I say paperwork, there's several different layers of paperwork. Okay, if you're a new athlete, new student, you should have received a text from Coach Cox that gave you a link that you had to go and fill out paperwork, right? You fill out all this stuff and you get it. Then once you complete that, you then have to get a physical. And so you have to contact Stuart Dunn, S. Dunn, DUNN at sagu.edu, Stuart Dunn, and he will give you the form for the physical. Normally, you would come on and you would have a physical at school, but we cannot have physicals. We can't even, there'll be no touching. There's no physical. I mean, social distancing is going to happen. Okay. Let me just tell you, when I tell you some stuff with our school, what we're doing, know that I don't say it to discourage you. I don't say it to scare you. The world is a different place, and it will be a different place for a long time. Once we're done with this pandemic, you will probably always see people in masks. You will probably always see stores with tape on it. The world is going to be a place that's completely different. Cashless payment, those kind of things are going to stick because that's our new normal, okay? And so some of the things we're doing, we're implementing more, I guess, top heavy because we don't have a vaccine, okay? And so until that vaccine is available for everybody, everyone's going over the top to make sure we're safe. I'm safe, you're safe, your family's safe. That's our goal, okay? And so that's why everything's kind of over the top, but it has to be. I mean, crap, you can't even go to Target without a mask, or you get yelled at, or somebody puts a video of you, oh, fight, that kind of thing, because that's just the new normal, all right? So paperwork, athletic paperwork must be completed and turned into Stuart Dunn. For all students, there is a concussion test, right? Have you done that? You actually have to do it on a computer. You can't do it from your phone. So you have to make sure you complete that concussion protocol deal. And that's with Stuart as well. So once you complete all the paperwork, you send your insurance, you send all that stuff, you'll get more information from Stuart. Remember, every one of you have a Lion Mail account. If you do not know your Lion Mail account, you need to contact your admissions counselor, and they will send you a reset to get a hold of it, because that's where all information is getting sent to you. If you're not checking that, you don't know what's going on. There's been emails sent left and right from our university telling you what things are going to happen and what it looks like. So stay on your Lion Mail account. You can add it to your phone like you normally would, okay? So have access. It's a Gmail account, so have access to it on your phone. If you're a returning student, you still need to fill out paperwork. It's different than the returners or the new people. That was sent to you on your Lion Mail from Stuart. If you have not received that, you need to contact Stuart. Okay, I say all that is because when you show up to school, everything must be complete or you're turned around and sent away. Okay, and before we had time, you would come a month ahead and we would have people trickle in. That's not the way it's going to work. The first day of school is actually the 24th of August, a week from the day you all report. Okay, so there's no time in between. We show up, athletes show up, new student orientation is the weekend, first class is on Monday. Boom. Okay, so there's no time in between to let people start straggling in. Okay, that's just, it can't happen. So we need you to be prepared on that. Also, if you're a new student, you must complete a meningitis test. You know that. In order to live in a dorm, a meningitis test must be performed. Also, a tuberculosis test. Okay, these tests are shots. Basically, the shot, and you have to go back days later and they'll look and see if it's welted up. If it doesn't weld up, then you don't have it, and then they clear you and you get the report. It takes 10 days for that to be done. It must be done by August 17th before you show up. So if you have not done a meningitis test or a tuberculosis test, you need to do that. You need to call your doctor. You need to go to Care Now. You need to do one of these little boo-boo clinics, whatever it takes. Just know that if you go to your normal physician, it's going to be hard to actually get in an appointment now. Okay, does that make sense? Just because it is going to, it's just really busy time right now. So I don't come on the 17th. Don't have a meningitis because they won't let you in the dorms either. Okay, and so you'll be turned away. I'm gonna unmute everybody, and that was a lot of information just right there, and we'll go through some procedures. But I'm gonna answer any questions that I can off of that. Only ask me questions based off of what we've talked about right there. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you if I can know how to do that again. Unmute all. That's weird. How can I unmute up? Okay. So y'all can unmute yourself? Yeah, if you have a question, unmute yourself. I guess that's how that works. I can only.
Yeah, you can
There you
unmute yourself.
Okay, who's that?
Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, yeah, just unmute yourself. I thought I saw Caleb. You asked to unmute yourself. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. It might have been my cursor was on your square. Okay. Kangwa, go ahead.
You're good.
Yes. Okay. So the meningitis is due for everybody, right? It doesn't matter if you're a new student. If you're returning back on campus as a full-time student, you have to have the meningitis, right?
No. So in order for you to live in a dorm, you had already have a meningitis test.
Okay. I mean, I did it for last semester. So does it still count?
It goes forever. You only get the meningitis test once in your life.
Okay. Okay.
So that's all you got. Like whenever you do your shot records growing up,
Yeah.
meningitis test you get after high school. Because
Oh,
that's
okay.
required to get that in a dorm. So that's like keeping your shot records up to date.
Okay.
And so there is a portion of your admissions that asks for your shot records. That is your meningitis test. You have to make sure you send that to your admissions counselor. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Anyone else on just that portion? That's weird. I got two pictures of Winnie and KP. Y'all have masks? That's weird. Why y'all so close? Y'all sitting on the same bed. That's weird. This is recorded, man.
You say so. It's okay though because
Okay.
I
It's okay though.
Okay, it's okay though.
COVID.
Hey, Nick, just don't go over there. I'm just telling you. Anyway,
You want
Okay.
everyone to know that our coach doesn't want us to wear masks. That's what
Who?
I'm hearing. You.
I don't want you to wear a mask.
Why are you asking if we're wearing masks then?
Oh, no. Let me just tell you this. Let me show you on a picture. I have a picture because I tried to send an email. It didn't work. Let me show you this.
Love that group me.
Okay, hold on.
I got a Sagu mask. This is a Sagu one. See?
Well,
you man.
So Sagu.
we have created and made these for everybody.
Hey, that's live though.
You like that?
Oh, my mama.
Everybody,
Go see,
everybody
go
will
see.
get a Sagu lion,
Go Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever it is. That is
Go
your,
see.
you like
Hey,
those?
that's live.
Yeah, we got those made. Those are coming in. I
Can I
got you.
get two because I'm gonna lose one.
Okay, I'm probably gonna charge y'all for the second one. I make some money on that, coach. You thought about it?
Oh, chill out, chill out, chill
Yeah.
out.
But so we got one for everybody. You'll get it when you get your stuff. So we got you. Okay, Charles, you had a question?
Yeah, can I speak on the hand signal? I mean, Coach Cox told me about it, but I mean, can I get more of an explanation on this?
Okay,
L.
okay. There's a
Oh my
disclaimer
God.
to this.
Oh
Coach
I
my
didn't do
God.
it.
Coach C,
I have nothing to do with this.
Coach
But
C.
we'll let Randy and KP talk real quick.
I need something like
Okay.
this. You know, like
Maybe how you
some,
do it again, KP?
You do
Okay, bro.
a thumbs up and then stick the pinky out.
Uh,
L.
Okay.
Lions.
Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing. Keep this, bro. Let me take my mask off.
Oh, no,
So
no,
this is
coronavirus.
like-
You're too close.
Let me put it back on.
Yeah.
So this is an L. You feel me? You did. This is an L.
Uh-huh.
for what?
And
And nobody else got
Lions.
it. It's original. This is
Lions.
not original.
nobody
Being
want to
the
do
Lions.
this. Nobody want to
And
do
nobody
this.
wanna do
Oh,
Nobody
look.
want to do
Like that.
this.
look,
Like,
I can find a sign language. I can do that. Yeah, come on. I can
hey,
find
son, you feel me? It's like this. So like,
But you have to
I
make sure it's
mean-
at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, football go copy it. They copy everything, so you might as well just do it.
They
Everybody
copy
else is
everything.
about to do it.
Yeah,
So-
they
You look
copy
like you're
everything
drinking a
but
cup of
winning.
coffee.
They don't win, but they gon' hey.
They ain't
Coach
gonna
Simmons-
down.
Coach
That's
C,
something I know, though. That's something I do know. So I mean, I'm gonna
Coach
speak on
C.
that. I don't play
what do
football no more.
you rather? You rather University of Houston or TCU or
No,
I
I like my
you know.
coffee. This is good.
okay? You like this?
Come on, this is good.
This is
Back to
good.
that thing.
We'll go with
You
this.
like this? This cool?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you don't
It's
have
being
to.
recorded, so yeah, I like it.
You don't have to do it, but like, hey, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I
At least
can't
we
do
got
it for a
something.
long time because like my arm hurts.
Right? You just be like, hey, the Lions, boom.
So, good. So that is our well, I'm not even gonna say that, but yeah, that's well.
Unofficially,
Good
our
job,
official.
KP told me, he said it only took him like 2 minutes to think about it and come up with it.
Yeah.
It was us. And
I
Coach
can
Cox.
tell it only took 2 minutes. But
we
it's
gonna
good.
Let me see you make something better.
You know what?
No.
We gonna hit the drawing board.
Anyway, so
We gonna go back.
okay, so we're gonna go ahead and keep talking. Hello. We're gonna talk about what we got going. So, all right, so that's
I'm
your,
weak for real.
I like it though, KP. And Winnie, well
disrespect.
done. That's your good job, everybody.
The disrespect.
You know,
Okay. Any other
We
questions
trying.
on that?
we trying.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like it. It's very good. It's very good. Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody because I'm tired of talking about that L. Okay, so next thing, NAIA paperwork. Many of y'all have completed it. You're waiting for me to add you to the short list. Something's wrong with the accounts on the coaching staff. The athletic director, all of them has just been messed up, so we can't even get into it to add you to our short list. But as long as you get to the short list, that means everything's there. They can process it. We'll just add you. But make sure you're NAIA. It's playnaia.org. It does cost you money, but you can, if you have, if you did free lunch growing up or at school, if you had, if you get some Pell Grant, that kind of thing, you may qualify for a waiver. If you do, I would contact your high school counselor and they can give you a waiver so you don't have to pay that. Okay, but your high school counselor has to do it. If you're a year removed from high school, you're probably out of luck. But so you have to complete it and you have to pay it. That needs to be done before you come on campus because there's a lot of things you have to turn in and you just can't go to the high school to go pick up your transcript because you'll be at school and you're not going to be able to leave once you come to school. And I'll explain that because that's what's next. So NAIA clearinghouse, that needs to be done. If you're a track athlete, if you're a cross-country athlete, everybody needs to have it. Needs to have it done before you show up. Okay. And so here we go. All right. I'm nervous about this portion because you can perceive this to be negative if you want. Okay. I don't want you to look at it to be negative. It is not negative. It is here for your protection and our protection. You understand that? Okay. And so there's going to be some safety precautions put at the school. So I know a lot of you, the returners, we went home after Trinity and you were online and it was just kind of weird and all that went on. You just wanted to come back to school, right? That was, we want to be back in school. Well, no, coming back to school isn't going to look like it did before, okay? It's going to be different. It has to be different. You're here, you're on campus. I mean, I don't know if you saw Liberty University was like one university said, we're going back during the pandemic in the beginning, and it lasted a week, and then they had like 150 kids sick, just like that, because they just went back to normal. That's not what's going to happen. And that's, I mean, if you look at all universities, the majority of them are coming back to campus, and so are we. As of today, that is the plan. You will be on campus, okay? So here we go. All athletes report Monday, August 17th, okay? You will be issued a time slot to show up. So it's not 9 a.m., everyone and their mama comes, because then we look like, we're sitting in church with everyone and their mama, no social distancing, so you will get a time slot. You must be prepared to be there at that time slot. period. If it's Monday morning. Okay, so no, you need to tell mama now, I need to be there that time. So I need to leave super early. I need to come Friday, Sunday night or whatever and stay somewhere. You cannot stay in the dorms prior to arrival. That is not allowed. COVID does not allow that. Okay, so whenever your time slot is, you will report to Claxton. Okay, Claxton is one of our older gyms. Okay, we will have everything staged there. When you show up, you'll go there, and if you're a new student or even returning students, well, I guess not returning, because returning, you just get your keys. But you'll go and you will get your ID made, your admissions paperwork's all done. You'll get your meal plan, you'll get your dorm key, all that stuff. There's stations everywhere in the gym. So one-stop shop, you get all your stuff, okay? This is important, because right when you get your stuff, that was weird. I'm looking at KP, looking at his own screen. But so you get your stuff, then from there, you will be escorted to the Hagee Communications Center. That is right behind it. There, every single athlete, and coaches would already have this done, will have a COVID-19 test. You will get tested for the coronavirus. Every kid. Okay, so when you come in, we're doing the nose thing. I've been tested. That wasn't fun, but I've been tested. So you're going to go, and what we're doing is we are hiring a company with their own lab, and so they're going to test everybody, and within 24 hours, we will get our results. I don't know if you know, if you go to Care Now, which I went to and got tested, I got tested. 12 days later, I got my results, and I found out I was negative. So my entire quarantine of 14 days was done, and I was good. Sucks. But so everybody will be tested. So once you get tested, hear me out. Once you get tested, you are then required to report to your dorm where you were self-quarantined for the 24 hours. Because we can't have you going out, going eating, hanging out, doing whatever, because you've already been tested. If you contract, you get coronavirus from somebody else who hadn't been tested or has been tested, now you can have it. So we are avoiding exposure by sending you to your room. Okay? All meals will be delivered to your room. If you're living off campus, we will have a drive-by meal pickup. And so we are doing it just like you do at restaurants. Coaches will be going to rooms, dropping off food every meal, okay? So we will be doing that. We will do that for everybody. Does that make sense? For 24 hours until testing is complete. And once you're cleared, that next day, okay, so any questions on that? Here's the kicker.
How we self quarantine if we got a roommate?
Well, your roommate, so that's what they're working on. They're trying to do all athletes together. That's what they want. But remember, if you have a roommate that is not an athlete, they will not be on campus yet. So you'll have the room to yourself until they show up on Saturday. So you won't have somebody in your room unless you're an athlete who has already been tested. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, how many meals are we getting?
So we'll have every meal. So if it's lunch, dinner, breakfast, all the way through until you have been cleared to go. Okay? So after that happens, the next day, once you're cleared, we are doing an EKG test. That's testing of hearts on every athlete. Let me explain why. Many of us, or some people on this call, you never know, could have been exposed to coronavirus and we didn't know it, okay? And our bodies beat it and we're good. What research has shown that those that there's lasting effects from the coronavirus, that they find like pockets of pus, some damage to the heart, and that are lasting kind of ramifications from it. And so we want to make sure our athletes are safe. we don't want to know that you had it and then you're out there running and you go down. So we want to make sure you're safe. So we're going to run an EKG test on everybody, and that will be the next day. So on Tuesday, once you're cleared, everybody will start doing those. You'll have a time slot, and you go and do that EKG test. They're going to do fall athletes first before spring athletes and winter athletes. So track-only athletes will not be tested on EKG probably until Wednesday. We're going to do the fall athletes first so we can get cross-country practice started. So before we can practice, you must clear coronavirus test, EKG test. Once you get that clearance, then you are able to practice. So that means we will not have our first practice until Thursday. Because we can't until everyone's clear. Okay, so those people, if something happens, say you test positive for coronavirus, or somebody does, you will be required to quarantine in Seville. They have a whole floor in Seville that will be quarantined for 14 days. And we will bring meals to you and all that good stuff. But
not the meals.
So everything you will not be able to leave if you test positive. That's what, so when you read the news and you hear University of Houston brings athletes to campus, but 10 have tested positive, that is because they tested them when they first came and they were already positive before they came. Okay? So we're trying to avoid contact with each other because say Noah, I'm not gonna call a name. Yeah, I just called you because you're right next to me. Just say somebody on here because I don't want to give you that bad juju. But say somebody has coronavirus on our team. If we had a team meeting, then we're all quarantined for 14 days. You get me? Because we've been in direct contact with somebody that has it. So we can't do that. Okay? Does that make sense? And it will 14-day and all that good stuff, and they have to contact trace. So here's what we need. We do know now, and this is something you need to let your parents know. When they arrive on campus with you, they will not be allowed to go into the halls to help you move in. And that is a change from anything else, because what if one of them have it? They're not tested. Okay, so we just can't have a high traffic in the hallways or in our dorms with untested people. Okay, so we're probably going to be in there grinding it out because our coaches will be tested before y'all even come and get cleared before y'all come. So we'll be grinding it out with you all, helping you move. Coach, y'all better start working out. We're going to be moving some folks in. But so, does anyone have questions on what that looks like?
Yeah, I'm going to need some help. I can't lift nothing.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. We will help everybody. Like, that's what we're going to be here for. But, like, I'm going to suggest, it just came to my mind. So say Lee and Noah are roommates. Could we use Noah to help bring Lee in? Because they're going to be together anyway. If Lee's got it or if Noah's got it, they're both going to be quarantined because they've been together. You know, maybe that's a way we can get some help. Sorry, I said it. Dang, Juju. No. Get behind me, Satan. So, okay. So you get what I'm saying on that? There's still a lot of logistics that need to be played out. We have a month to do that, but that's what it looks like. But this is going to be the line that I think some people are going to not be happy with. In order for you to show up to SAGU without coronavirus, 14 days before you show up, you have to self-quarantine. Because if you have it on August 3rd, you quarantine for 14 days, you show up August 17th, you'll be good. If you show up, if you have a hangout with your friends on August 10th, 7 days before you show up, or 2 days before you show up to campus, 14 days starts the day once you test positive, even though you're on the back end of it. So some people could be quarantined for 20 days. Does that make sense? So 14 days before you show up. So if you got a big party, hanging out with all your friends, bye-bye, grandma, we going to college. You better do it August 2nd so you can quarantine for 14 days before you show up. Now, if you go to the store because you got to get something, you wear a mask. I mean, I'm not saying you're stuck in your house for 14 days. Self-quarantine means you avoid contact with people. You wear a mask all the time. You don't go to somebody's house to hang out. You are minimal leaving your resident. Okay? Like me, I'm self-quarantined, but my kid goes to daycare every day. So, get what I'm saying? If he gets exposed to it, he brings it home, then woo, but that's been everything. So 14 days before, August 3rd, everything needs to shut down. You know, you go and buy some more school clothes, all that kind of stuff. You do it, get after it, do it however you want quickly, but just get in and out. It's not chilling with your homies. You better learn how to play Fortnite online if you need some interaction. Yes, KP.
So do we move in first and then get tested, or tested and move in?
No, you're gonna go get tested directly,
Okay.
and then you come.
So as soon as we touch down, we get tested.
That's it.
All right, bet.
And that's a good point, because he's saying that, because if that would be backwards, and we talked through all that, because if, say, you show up, like all the new student, the returner is going to go straight to the dorm and get their keys. But so if they go in there and they get room 208, they go in, they've touched everything, moved in, all that good stuff, then they go and get tested and they come out positive, everything they connected to is bad. Once you're tested, we know what you've done on campus. We can trace that. Okay? Questions?
So what happens for the people that have to work?
Yeah. It's a very good question. I'm going to write that down. So you're saying, like, say you work at Chipotle when you come back to school.
Yeah. What if, like, you already have a job there? And
Okay. Well, all right. Well, understand you're only quarantining for 24 hours. So you come in, you quarantine, you get tested. That one day you're tested until your test scores come out. Then you don't have to quarantine anymore. So you just tell your work, I can't work on the day I'm showing up, which you shouldn't either, because you don't know what that schedule is going to look like.
Yeah.
And so once you're clear, you're good. But if you test positive, or anybody, let's just say anybody tests positive, I'm not going to call you out. Anybody tests positive, you're quarantining for 14 days. You can't go to work anyway.
Yeah. I don't know if you covered it or not, but, like, are you going to be able to work while you're in school?
Oh, yeah. Okay, and so we'll that's a very good question. So, I mean, the school is kind of considering adopting the cohort mindset or the concept. What that is there's a group of, this is your group, this is your group, this is your group. You don't kind of, and they try to do that amongst team. So they don't really want you intermixing with a lot of people, because then your bubble's exposed. If somebody comes into your bubble who's coronavirus, those people sit out. But you got to work. And so you just have to practice good, social distancing practices and all that stuff. So there's a lot of holes in it, but yeah, you have to work. People have to work. You have to get there. I have to work. I have to go to campus. That's working. And not everybody on campus is going to be tested. Like, I don't think the normal population, just the school students, aren't going to be tested. Just the athletes. And so that there itself causes another issue is, what am I going to do? And so if you want my kind of suggestion, all meals are taken to your room to eat. Or you eat with your cohort. Everything's a grab and go anyway. You go outside and eat outside, hanging out with your friends. Those kind of things, just so you're not cross-contaminating. Chapel's going to be in pods as well. It's going to look completely different. So those are things that we're going to have to work through and try to avoid being kind of exposed to people. So before we kind of get into that, I kind of went off a little bit. Any questions on the process? Charles?
Yeah, I have one question. So, like, I'm from Houston. My family is from Houston. Like, they're gonna be, H-Town. Yeah, don't speak down. So when they come, so are they allowed on campus at all, or can they help me bring stuff up and then like they have to leave?
That's it. They'll be able to, how far they'll be able to come, I don't know. Like, how far will they be able to, you drive up to your dorm and leave your stuff, and help you, unload your stuff. They can't go in the dorm, that kind of thing. Yes. Unfortunately, that is how it's going to work.
Yeah, because I drive a Honda Civic, so I don't think all my stuff will fit in my
You're going to come with 3 shirts. That's all you got in that thing. But yeah, I mean, and so we'll help move you in, but they're going to be limited access to buildings and stuff.
Okay. And so then I also have one more question as far as like self-quarantining.
Mm-hmm.
Are we self-quarantining from like, you already mentioned like going out to the store and stuff, but like, are we self-quarantining? Does it matter where we self-quarantine? Got to self-quarantine.
No, you like, what do you mean? Like, where?
Yeah, so like if I self-quarantine in Houston, does it matter if I self-quarantine in Houston or if I self-quarantine in Dallas? Like, do you want me to be up here in Dallas? Do I have to be up in Dallas? Okay.
Wherever you are, you self-quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah, so just avoid interactions as much as possible. That's self-quarantine. Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions on that portion? Good. Okay. So now let's talk about practices. I'm not going to get deep into practice protocol because all those things are getting figured out. But I do know that every day we will have to self-check before practice. We will be temp checked before every practice. Stuart will be checking everybody's temperature before practice, every day, every practice. Okay. And so there'll be a questionnaire that you'll have to complete every single day before you come to practice. How do I feel? Am I warm? So on and so forth. That's what everybody does. Cause not everybody, like, in order to go to work, if you feel sick, then you don't go to work. If you have symptoms, you don't go to practice, those kind of things. So we'll explain that kind of later whenever we get those situated. But we won't be able to practice until Thursday. And that is only for cross-country runners only. Let me explain that, because this is our first year we're doing indoor track, okay? So the reason why, now you can kind of see the whole picture, but every sport is only allowed to practice for 25 weeks a year, okay? So if you're outdoor track, you wouldn't be, if you started practicing in August, you would run out of practice weeks by the time you got to February. You couldn't even practice anymore. You go over your time. So with every sport has 25 weeks. So since we've never done indoor track, all our sprinters, in order for you guys to practice, we considered you cross-country runners. So you could practice 25 weeks for cross-country, and we put some of you in meets and that kind of stuff because you were a cross-country runner. And then whenever outdoor started or cross-country ended, our 25 weeks took us all the way through outdoor. We didn't practice over the breaks. That's why I gave you a practice, but we didn't meet up, because if we meet up one day, that counts as a week. So that's why we pushed it all the way off after Thanksgiving. We had 6 weeks off, and then you made it to 25. Okay, that's how that works. Now, with indoor, you can start indoor at 25 weeks. You can't start until Monday of the second week. Well, really the first day of school. is the first practice you guys can have, so you can stay within your limits. Okay, we won't ever run out of outdoor because there's not 25 weeks after nationals, which is the first week of March. So outdoor is clear. It's just indoor that we're making sure. So sprinters will not be able to come to practice until the Monday, the first day of school. Okay. And so normally I make everybody do PPMs. I cannot do that anymore. Just because that is a real practice and you can't show up. Okay. So yes, you heard me. Unfortunately, the coaches and I will scale through what we have, our numbers, and we will let you know if you will be considered a cross-country runner, because you may be needed to be used to compete in those. Okay, and I say compete, it doesn't necessarily mean I need you to be a stud like Noah. He's gonna be a stud. Get ready. I don't need you to be that, but I may need you just in case, because this is kind of how it works. If a kid tests, so before our first meet, 7 days before, you will be tested again. Coronavirus. If you test positive, the entire team will have to contact trace and the entire team's out. So if one person tests positive, we sit out. We have to retest everybody. Once we're cleared, those people are good. The ones that are negative or positive are quarantined. And so we have to ensure that we have enough people on our cross-country roster to make sure we have a team and make sure we're able to compete. So does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying?
So I kind of missed a portion of it. You said that. You said that.
Is that me? Is that him?
That's him.
That's him.
He's got that DJ Screw Wi-Fi. H-Town. Screwed up clip.
Did you hear what I said?
DJ Screw.
Hey, for real, the GOAT.
Okay, what?
You kept cutting off.
Yeah, you kept on.
Okay. So basically what I
Oh, H-Town. H-Town, stay there.
said that all track athletes will be considered cross-country runners.
Not all. Not all athletes will be considered cross-country. You know, we have some throwers, those kind of things. We won't consider everybody. But if you're a runner, you could possibly be considered a cross-country runner, because we do have to fill a roster.
So meaning that run at a cross-country.
Say it again?
So meaning that I.
Yeah, he's lying. He stopped completely.
Town, stay down.
Yeah.
You got that T-Mobile.
You might just want to like text it in the chat.
Yeah, we may need to. We'll pray over your phone. Boost Mobile over there just messing around.
Yeah, just type in the chat what your question was.
Yeah, type in, hey, Cricket, go ahead and type in the chat.
Okay, I have a question.
Kenwa.
Yeah, hi. So how many people exactly are you looking to put on the roster for
Just
females?
to let you know, currently women have 12 total runners. We have lost a couple recently this week. So we have 12 runners.
12 runners.
Men are 31.
Yep. So how many of, for the females, how many do we have for cross country versus track? Or does it matter?
The majority of the girls will be on the cross country roster.
Okay.
Okay. So, now granted.
He said, is it possible that he runs at a cross country meet?
Probably not. If we don't need you, we won't. So we're also going to limit our travel numbers. We're going to take, right now we have 4 meets. Well, we only have 3 meets, because if you hadn't heard, the conference with University of Dallas, Trinity, all of them have canceled all fall sports as of yesterday. So that means we were going to the Texas Lutheran meet. That meet is no longer available. They are no longer going to run this year or this semester. So we don't have 4 meets scheduled. We are considering doing an early, like a heavy September travel, meaning we just go to as many meets as we can while meets are still available, because we have to run 4 meets in order to be qualified to run a conference.
Right.
And so we have to have 4. Now, it doesn't say, so like say Robert, we're running 3-4 weeks in a row. I don't need the same people to run every week. You know, I just need to have a team running and a girls team running to count as a meet.
I usually need a team to show up, and
That's it. And so I'm not saying we're having a crap season, because that's not the plan. The plan is we're gonna go and compete, but we do need to meet our numbers. And so we still have a lot of logistics on who's running and who's not. So this is what I encourage you. Your butt better be running. Like, for real. Because when you show up and you ain't ready, we could possibly go to a meet September the 5th. That's 2 weeks. So the day of our first practice, it is, I think it's that next week. So if we practice on, we practice on Thursday, the 27th, that following Saturday is our first meet at University of Tyler. So, or UT Tyler. So, so it's a lot of just up in the air. We don't know. We need to just be flexible when it comes to that, but you just need to come prepared. You need to be in shape. You need to be running. I know that coronavirus is just getting our heads, and we're not as bought in. We're not as excited. I get it. We got to get over that. And we got to say, okay, I got a month away. I better get to work. Okay.
What about if you had surgery?
Oh, yeah, no, you're good. We're going to have to get cleared anyway. Like physically cleared from your doctor before you can even work out with us.
Yes, sir.
You know, so yeah, you're good. We're not going to throw you under the bus. We're trying to get after it. I ain't trying to do you like that, Lee. I got you.
Charles asked another question. He asked if our families are able to come to the meets.
That is based off of the meet protocols. And so most meets are outside. So I think that's why cross country is able to handle. So if you hear, there's a lot of sports getting shut down. Cross country is one that people aren't fighting. Junior college has shut down all fall sports. NJCC, JCCAA, all fall sports except cross country. Because the ability to be outside and social distance and that kind of thing. And so the answer would be probably yes, but it'd be based off of whatever the school regulations and whatever their part says, if that makes sense. So if we hosted it, yes. At this point, we would, but we're not hosting any meets per se, which also brings up the half marathon. Who knows? That could be not going to make it. We are hosting a high school meet. That may not happen. So we don't know. I mean, there's a lot of up in the airs that we have to go day by day with. But the plan is cross country's happening. Indoor track's happening. Outdoor track's happening. If anything changes, then we will adjust. We would practice. We would, all that stuff. But as of right now, we are all in. Okay, so I need you to be prepared to be all in and compete. Okay?
Okay. So the track runners are doing the same workouts as we're doing, right?
No,
We're only gonna.
We would not do that. So the plan would be is Sage and I will be basically the cross country practice coaches. Okay, so Sage, and we even have to distance ourselves at practice. The logbook session will look completely different because we can't even sit next to each other with the social distance even outside. So we're not sitting in that little area. That has to be spread. So Sage will take some, I will take some. We'll have different starts. We'll have to do that. Coach Cox and Coach Brady will be taking the sprinters and the throwers and the jumpers. we'll be working in the beginning on the grass fields, utilizing weights and those things that we've purchased so we can have practice on the grass on our fields, which have lights now. Woo! And so we won't have to go away for a while. We're hoping at least for the first 6 to 9 weeks there, because I don't know if you know, since the school has moved over the start of school and they've cut out some things, that also means we cannot compete for indoor in December. So there was a meet we scheduled, though we cannot compete in that. That is for sure out. So that's kind of pushed our timeline on winning and need to be indoor meet ready. So we're going to do a lot of stuff on campus before we go out to the Waxahachie High School. But so there'll be different start times. We have to even spread those out so we can check temperatures on everybody before we can start, that kind of thing. So does that make sense? So the staff are working on how to kind of process and get the most out of our time with everybody, including social distancing, those things. Does that make sense? Yeah? Good answer, Kingwa? Okay.
Yeah, you did good.
Okay. So the adjustments have been made to the calendar. Here's some notes that may not mean anything to new ones, but returners. Spiritual saturation has been canceled. Okay? There's no spiritual saturation. So once y'all come in, we start practice on Thursday. New student orientation, that's transfers and freshmen, begin Friday night. Then it's all day Saturday. And Sunday, I think we're doing a corporate worship. Don't know what that looks like yet, but that is on. So no one will leave the first weekend. We will practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, we're going to go all the way through. We'll practice probably prior to the service. And because that will technically be your first practice for track athletes, because the week is from Sunday to Saturday. So we can use that Sunday morning for your first practice, not Monday. Okay, there will be no fall break. So fall break is normally a couple of days you're given, Thursday and Friday. That has been canceled. We're going through those days as regular days so we can buy ourselves some time at the end of the semester. So Thanksgiving break, normally it's off Monday, Tuesday. No, actually, no, you class on Wednesday. You'll go all the way to Wednesday class. Thursday, Friday. So Wednesday is your last day of class. So let me explain that. Monday, so we'll have nationals. Then the next week will be nationals again for NAIA. Then the last week of school is Thanksgiving. You'll go to class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That is your last day of face-to-face class. Okay? Then you will go home, and you may have already done your finals, or you may do them virtual. But the semester is over that Wednesday. You would take your stuff home. Semester is done. That's why you don't have a fall break. That's why you don't have, they've cut it all up. So you're done November 26th or whatever it is. Finished. Okay? Chapel is, and that's why we can't compete in December, because no one's going to be allowed on campus. You can't keep anyone around. Baseball can't do it, anybody. Okay? Chapel has now been reduced to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay? Not 5 days or 4 days a week, that kind of thing. So it's cut down. Also, they're still kind of working through that process. If you read the email, it talks about chapel. And I did see that it is not going to count against you as well this year. So, just saying. And my last point is currently within Ellis County, our orders are 50% in every building, okay? Meaning our team currently, at the point we're at, plus coaches, we are at 50, so 30, 40, 35, 47 people, close to 50. There is not a building out in a room on campus, unless they're big auditoriums, that we can fit us as a complete team for team meetings. So we are considering doing outdoor meetings, which is really hot to do a team meeting outside. But we'll look at doing some of those. We may break them up into pods and have different sessions. I do one, then I do the next one, I do the next one. Or we may do our team meetings via Zoom. So a lot of things were just under restrictions. And so we have to be prepared to handle the new normal, which the new normal isn't even set yet. It's still moving, and so flexible is the key. If there's a word for the year, it's to be flexible. Okay. We are going to do our best to inform you and keep everybody safe. That is our first priority. Okay. We have to be positive. The world is full of negativity, and we just read it on Twitter, and we read it on Facebook, and you see it on Instagram. I just started Instagram, but I don't like it. It's terrible. I didn't realize you couldn't open up somebody's picture because you liked it. I was trolling somebody, and then I hearted them. I was like, crap, my bad. So I'm learning Instagram. Y'all need to hook me up with that thing. I don't know how to do it very well. But that's everything I have. Questions? I know. Don't do that L again, David. That's terrible. Drinking coffee? Okay. KP, again.
So this is like a thing that I thought of. So there's a class upstairs, like Authentic Christianity in the Schaefer, and it fit like 80 people. Because me and Wendy was in that class, and it's like a big classroom, so we could probably all fit in there and be able to social distance.
Okay,
Like 75.
so this is key. If it's 8, every room has a capacity.
Yeah.
50% of the capacity.
Well, then let's just take chapel for a weird hour.
That's right. And that's the kind of thing we have to talk really loud over the people singing, ooh, yay! That kind of thing. Practicing all those.
I know.
I'm saying,
I
like,
know he did not say
A
Joseph.
weird hour. Yeah.
You didn't know I could sing. Boy, ooh,
I know he did. I know
my
he did
ears,
Joseph.
my
Let me
ears.
get that mixtape when it comes out, Coach C. Let me get that
I
mixtape.
got you.
Nah.
Get my boy
nah.
Carl screwed up click. Go ahead and get my boy ready.
Old chapel. Yeah.
Oh,
Chapel chopped and screwed,
Yeah.
baby.
Chopped and screwed.
Holder said the old chapel in Adney
Ain't nobody ever in there.
City. That's oh.
So, I mean,
it's old
that
time.
is a room they talked about we can use. You can also use the downstairs in the admissions office. What is that one?
Or the basketball gym.
Well, we can't do it when practicing. They're having to spread out practices.
Oh yeah, the bottom floor down there.
Every single
Yeah, you
hour.
have.
So we have looked through. Coach Godden gave us a list of every building. We're going to have to reserve all kinds of stuff. So we have to be ready to go to reserve. Weight room only allows 10 people at a time.
Where?
Think about
Which
football.
one? Which
How's that
one?
going to work?
Who's talking about this?
Why do you think we purchased outside plyo blocks, medicine balls?
I thought it was right what we talking about.
So I don't know what y'all talking about. But anyway, is there any questions on that?
Okay.
I know it's a lot.
So we will be practicing at Sad Goose Field, right?
Yeah, we're gonna use the grass field.
Because I need to know. Cause I'm be driving. I gotta know.
And so
All right.
we will give everything. So basically, how that's gonna work is everybody will have to come to the school to get temp checked, cleared for practice before. So the days that we go to the track, that still has to be done.
All right.
You know?
I got you.
So that's why we're trying to avoid going anywhere for the time being. We just want to save the hassle if possible. A lot of stuff. See, I like Caleb. He wears masks even in the car.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Thompson. Go ahead. Oh, my mail's here. Yes, ma'am.
What if we're not staying on campus?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not on campus neither. No.
Yeah, so those that are not living on campus, will follow. So to what part? Like practice part or self-quarantine? What do you mean?
Both.
Okay, so self-quarantine, when you come and get tested, then you just have to go self-quarantine at your house. Okay? And then we will have meals here. So we provide meals, even though you don't have a meal plan. If you live off campus, you don't have to. We provide meals until the first day of school. That's part of the athletic part. So you can come and get a meal, pick up meal to go. Okay? And then for practice, you'll just have to come on campus and get temp check. Do the same process everybody, but you'll just do it here on campus. So nothing changes because everyone has to walk down to our practice, or y'all just drive to our practice. And we will be more clear on where we are meeting, specifics. We will clarify all those things. And what this does, like I was telling our coaches, so some days it sucks. So say it's super rainy outside and we want to do a PPM and we want to adjust it at 3 o'clock. That kind of holds it back because our trainer's out testing everyone else. He's not available to do that. So what this is going to do, and this is a big point, and I'm glad I thought about it, is you missed practice, you didn't get checked, you may not be able to go to class. Because every athlete has to get checked in the morning. So this is kind of what he's thinking about doing, going into the cafeteria and checking everybody before they go to class. You just have to be temp checked once a day. And so if you miss my practice and you miss being temp checked, you can't come back and practice later.
Is that only for the athletes?
Only for the athletes. Which is tough because
Hey, do you think it would be smart enough though they test us in the afternoon as well? Because it only takes 6 hours until the thing
you're right.
can get you. So I'm just saying.
You're right.
I don't know.
You know, and those are things they're considering is, do we do a second? See, like the hard part is everyone's got a temperature about 4 o'clock. Just go outside. It's 101 degrees. You know, and so everyone, they're doing it in the morning because that's kind of when your body temperature is neutralized because you've been sleeping, that kind of thing. You know, but, you know, they're considering twice a day. It's just the logistics of getting everybody together. You know, and who knows, they may end up having us coaches temp check everybody.
Yeah.
That might be where it goes. And, you know, my whole thing is like with high school, whenever they went back to do the strength and conditioning, and if I got a stud quarterback and he's got a little temperature, you're going to have, my integrity has to be lined up with it because I might need him to get the extra reps instead of sending him home, you know. And so they're trying to avoid the human element of it. Because, like, if our number one runner gets a temp the day before a meet, I'm going to be fighting with Satan, not to say I didn't see it.
He said I'm going to be fighting with
Satan. Am I real? I'm going to tell you the truth. That's Jesus on this recorded line. That's the truth. Because I need him on Saturday. And so you don't want to put yourself in a situation that you have to choose the right or wrong thing. Does that make sense? And I don't want to put myself in that risk because I'm going to do the right thing. I hope. And I pray that's the case. But I know my heart, it is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Read that. That's in the Bible. Okay, who's next? I know y'all got questions. KP.
Me.
It was like me.
He texts me all the time. I'll answer all these questions. What?
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be a mask mandate, right?
Yes. That's why I purchased masks for everybody.
Why are we running? Oh, no.
No. While you're running? No.
I'm about to say, I'm not coming to practice.
Yeah, no. No, not while you run and not while you practice.
But like in the gym, right? In the gym afterwards.
Yeah, so like after we meet, like after you run, go home. All right, practice over. See ya. Right when you finish, you just leave. Because they say that 6 feet isn't far enough when you're breathing hard.
It's not.
Because then it penetrates even further.
Yeah.
And so right when you're done, so Noah sits there, does his 5-mile PPM, kills it. That penetrates like 18 feet. He's over there hitting the cafeteria. Man, so we just got to send him home. He just, all right, that's it. Practice is over. We want to have discussions about practice. We're going to have to really utilize a logbook sheet and maybe make some type of Google form sheet where you fill out how you're feeling, that kind of thing. And so we can discuss on progression, because that's where I coach. That's where I get you better. That's when we talk about how to adjust some things and how to make that work out better and how to, and then what that does is take that away from us. And so we still have to have those dialogues. And so we'll have to discuss a way to keep that communication with you. But I don't need to talk to you after because I don't want the coronavirus. Okay, who else?
So, Coach, how does that work for both practice and meet? Let's say, like in practice, there's a group of us running the PPM. In a cross-country meet, there's like a group of 100 people just breathing on each other's neck.
That's what we'll have separate practices.
Okay.
We're going to split them up. So we will practice. So like say because that's why we're not going to have everybody on the roster doing both, because I couldn't have 50 people on the line. So I have to distinguish who is going to be doing cross-country practices. And then so from that number, we're going to split. We're not going to do a dead girls and guys split, but we're going to split them so that we can have an evenly number so we can separate everybody. And then we'll have designated places. I even thought about having like signs put, where you can catch your breath, station, that kind of thing, and then leave. And so those logistics have to be worked out. But we just got to get people like moved on and after practice. And so after meets, like that's something we have to discuss. And all right, guys, we're not bringing our tent because we don't want you to show up to the tent after and that was a good race. How'd you do? High fives? Nah, we ain't high fiving. We're like masking. What's up, everybody? Good job. Air fist 6 feet away. But yeah, so that's a very good point, Robert. But that's why we're splitting everything up.
All right, but are we getting like just tested once? Because like let's say we show up, we get tested, and like 10 days later, one of us goes home, comes back to school, and you have it.
Yeah.
But we don't know because you didn't get tested again. So
this is I think the plan is, because it's a money deal. Like we have to figure out how this is paid. So we got 400 athletes. Who pays for the $100 and some test for that to be done 10 times a year? You get what I'm saying? Like, so what we're going to do it once in the beginning, then we'll do it before the first competition. From what I've heard, if you start having symptoms before you can come, you have to self-quarantine until you're tested and cleared from a physician. So this is a year that SAGU Cares app is utilized by everybody.
Everybody.
You're jumping like me. I haven't been to the doctor yet, but I thought I had coronavirus. I was sick, so I did the online deal. But it ended up being like a upper respiratory infection. But I did the online doctor, which I didn't have to go anywhere. The only time I went to a doctor was when I had to get tested with COVID. And I got tested because I was exposed to somebody whose daughter has it.
Eesh.
So it wasn't even a direct touch. So, and so we're trying to do the best we can to not wipe out a whole team.
So are we going to have the teams and everything?
Like numbers and that kind of stuff.
I think so. With the whole stick.
Right. We'll have to do something. We need to make like a virtual kick your own butts and no one else can stick.
Oh, that's sad.
So we can, but yeah, we don't need you touching it.
It'll still count though. It's okay.
Yeah, and so we'll do the numbers and stuff. We'll do all that. Like that'd be the plan. But it'll just all be with that connectivity. We're gonna do. That's our job, is to make sure that we can stay connected and build that morale and that continuity and that collaboration and that camaraderie as a team, without us being able to physically be with each other all the time. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough navigating through some stuff, but we have to come in positive and ready to work, and knowing that this is bigger than us. It's bigger than SAGU. It's bigger than America. I mean, it's huge, and we're just going to have to take it day by day and in stride and know that there's an end to this.
Amen.
And
Preach.
Everything isn't going to stay the same. We just got to get through this tough time. But it's going to be okay. I'm excited. I can't wait to see, like I told coaches, I just want to see everybody's face smiling. I see everybody depressed, everybody just blue, and everyone just down, because it just takes a toll. You know, it just takes a toll on you. I'm ready to see some excitement, and we need to have it. I need it in my life, and so I know you all do as well. And that's why we struggle. That's why it spread so fast, because people couldn't stay in their houses anymore. They just had to go and see people and hang out, and boy, kind of went crazy on us. So, so any questions on that? I have one more announcement. Any questions in it? Okay. So, wanted to tell you, probably should have said it earlier, we dropped some folks, but we're excited. We have a lot of new faces. I can't wait to see everybody when y'all show up. I have everybody turned in. Mostly everyone's giving me your information on where to order. We've ordered all kinds of stuff. We're about to order trainers, so our shoes are coming in. So we'll have them when you show up. I need, but we are excited to announce that we have named Alyssa Holder as our female captain for the 2020-2021 season. We're excited about her leadership. Congratulations. We have a lot of leaders on our team. There's one thing I want everyone here to know, that you don't have to have a title to lead. And everybody should know that. If you're a returner, we've done that as a group book study. And so we're excited to have her. We're excited to have her full-time. She's 100% ours. Cross country, indoor track, outdoor track, basketball, she is ready. And so she's actually driving through Arkansas, and but she's there. And just so send her a text, congratulate her. We're excited for her leadership. And but it is going to be a fun year. I know we've already told you KP is our sprint. We don't have 2 women yet. We only have 12. We might as well name everybody captain if that's the case. But we're going to grow. We're going to continue to grow and continue to build. And hopefully we can add a sprinter captain and a distance cross trick captain. David is also our chaplain for everyone across the board. KP is our sprint captain. Robert is our distance captain. And we're going to be ready to go. Be ready to look good. We're going to take our pictures. I don't know how that's going to work. Are we going to take it with masks? I don't know. Who knows what it's going to look like? There's a lot of things going to happen. We may Photoshop everybody in. Who knows? But it is going to be a wild semester. But it's going to be a good one. So make sure everybody has all your paperwork in. You've done your dorm assignment. Completed all that stuff. You've registered for your classes. You need to come in with no holes in your paperwork. Everybody, come in ready to go, so that whenever you show up, we are rocking and rolling. No questions asked, and not delayed, because you can't be here if you're delayed. And you can't guarantee you can get tested, because we're hiring the company to test everybody that day. So it's imperative that you're ready to go. Because if you have to go to care now to get tested, you're not going to get that results. My brother-in-law just got his results yesterday. They quarantined for 14 days. So technically, he tested over the July 4th weekend, and he just got his test back, 14 days. So you don't want that to get clear. So you got to be here that day. I saw another hand, KP.
So, what about pictures? Like, how is that gonna work?
And I just told you I don't know. We're gonna smile with mask. I
We're
don't
gonna
have a
be
clue.
we're gonna be in hammock suits.
So
Bro,
we gonna
bro
social
getting
distance
his haircut.
for pictures too. I'm
I
guessing.
don't know. Like I said, we take a picture. The dude's smart enough. He's got some. He can do a team picture. He can he can lay each other on, lay a person here, put it here, there. We can make it work. We can do it. I don't know how it's gonna work, but pictures will be done sometime.
Gotta get the people.
Okay. But that's all I have. Any questions, coaches? Anything? Good. Any of y'all have any questions?
Nada.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So text me, text coaches.
Yeah, Coach B.
Text everybody. If you have questions, use the group me. If you have anything like that you have questions, we can answer. So we can go from there. But don't be afraid to ask. There's no questions a dumb question. Okay? Awesome. Excellent. Thank y'all for being here. I know it was short notice, but I appreciate y'all giving me your time. And let's go to work. All right. We'll see y'all.